stress-free, leave your cares at home. Leave your cares at home. Do your two-step, get your groove on. This is feel good music, you can move on. Relax, stress-free, leave your cares at home. Leave your cares at home.
Yep. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday night. You know what time it is. We are here on the cam with the fam. YouTube, not the gram. And I am here with my beloved sister. She is Laura Russell, Healthy Carnivore, my favorite person to grill, chill, and kill with. How you doing, sis? You all right tonight?
Doing well.
That is wonderful. I love that. You know, you had a stream yesterday. It was like I don't know if you want to call it a stream. It was just a stree. You know, it didn't have, it was just a stree. It was like 20 minutes. I got off work a little early and tuned in. So let me see what my sister's doing. She's like, okay, gotta go.
Gotta go. Yeah, I like to keep them kind of short and sweet on Monday.
Yeah, in and out like a robbery. So, but yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I was all ready to get in the chat and act a fool, and that's probably what you were doing. You're like, oh, before this fool gets started, let me just let me shut it down.
Like, run for cover.
That's right. Well, that's enough of that on Tuesdays. I get enough of that every other Tuesday. So yes, we are here. And speaking of tomfoolery and hijinks, look who we have here. It's the original tomfoolery.
Yeah.
It's right. Jersey tomfoolery. How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Great. Wow. The prime rib is in here hanging out with us there. Let's see who else we got. Who else popped in the room there? I think I saw some of the regular folks there. Yes, we know Jersey Tom. Don is here. Don says 2 nights in a row. I guess he's talking about you.
About me?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so,
yeah. Quack heart attack is in the building. He said he's taking a bath there. How about that? Yes, there may or not be rubber ducks involved. We know he owns a rubber duck. We don't know if he puts it in the bathtub with him, but hey. To each his own. Yeah. And the cat did come back, so there we go. Shout out to the reptiles. Sandy, hello there, beloved. She is here. I'm clicking on the wrong things there. That is Sandy there. And Karen is here. Good evening to our beloved Karen. Eric, hey, now listen, hey, now that's a blow. Now that's a blast from the past there. I'm guessing Eric may have been from the early days of the Keto Cookout, where every week we did a scurvy check and a heart attack check at the beginning of the show. Okay. Let's see if anybody had any scurvy or had a heart attack during the week. And so either it's just a coincidence or he goes back to the beginning. He's like a day one guy.
Beginning of time.
He's an OG.
Yeah, OG there. Mark. Hello there, beloved. Marla is here with us. We are here to have a little fun. As always, you can pop in. The link is in the chat. If you have a question, for our girl Laura there, she knows everything. She's all knowing of ketoing. So you want to You like that? You like that? Did you like it? Yeah. So I came up with that on the fly.
I'm not worried.
Jenny said,
I know.
Laid on my Jeep. There you go. Hello there, beloved. It's very nice to see you this evening. Yeah, we are here on Tuesday, just having fun with the family like we always do. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. If you have a question, of course, you can put it in the chat. It has been ridiculously hot here. That's what I want to talk about, man. It is some bull junk. It has been 95 plus every day, 'tis the season. And man, it's miserable. Buddy, I tell you what. And when it's this hot this early, it usually starts cooking up them storms. So we got a couple of storms here, and supposed to have some tomorrow, and it's not even Memorial Day. So yeah, welcome to the Sunshine State, everybody. Yeah, that's but there has been a lot of sunshine. In fact, oh my gosh, my solar panels have just been. I think I'm gonna burn the place down. My solar, I am generating so much power I can't even use it all. I mean, it's like by 1 o'clock in the afternoon because it's so the days are longer now, and so it's just crazy. My solar arrays are just generating ridiculous power. So what can you do? It is.
You sell it back?
No, I did not. I did not have a grid tie-in, and the reason I didn't do it, and a lot of people don't know how this works, but first of all, you have to have a minimum amount, which I don't, at least in my area. It's pretty similar in most places. You have to have a minimum, I think, of 15,000, generate 15,000 watts. I only generate about 6 or 7,000, so I don't have enough to be eligible for that. But here's the downside of it. When you tie into the main grid, they have control over your power, and they will shut your panels down. So my brother, shout out to my people up there in North Carolina, has 20,000 watts of solar panels on his house, and he's up in the Asheville area where they had all those bad storms. He was without power for 6 days, and he doesn't live like out in the hinterlands. But he was without power for 6 days with 20,000 watts of solar power in his house because the city shut it off. Because that power can travel up the line and electrocute somebody while they're repairing the lines and all that. So I'm like, what? So I was looking at doing that. I didn't want to put all that stuff on my roof. I've heard horror stories about that. If you have a roof leak or if you need to get a new roof, oh my gosh, you got to pay somebody to take all that stuff down and put it back. So I didn't want to do that. And when I found out that you don't have power when you need it most, I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I mean, down here it storms all the time. I mean, it's not uncommon at all to go without power for 8-10 hours a day down here during the storm. And it doesn't even have to be a hurricane. A lot of people don't realize that. It doesn't have to be a hurricane to be a terrible storm. This is a tropical environment. A bad thunderstorm can knock down trees and knock out power. So yeah, I have to be able to, have access to the power when I need it. So unless they can find a way to shut down the sun, I will definitely.
Don't say that too loud.
Yeah, I'm sure they're working on that. I'm sure there's somebody. They've already got control of our water, and they got control of the power partially. So a lot of people don't. They just look at, oh man, I'm not going to have a light bill. So where do I sign? Oh, okay. But yeah, when that wind gets blowing and the power goes out, you're going to be like, I can't believe I don't have any power when I have a roof full of power. There you go. Chance is here, my man. Arg. Shiver me timbers. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. Chicago's finest there. So what's new with you, Tom? Anything exciting on your channel? Any interviews? Any
the channel's pretty exciting. I'm actually starting to do lives myself. So check me out. I'm going to actually start doing them every day in the morning, and then I'm going to do like 2 a month for a couple hours where hopefully I'll get a guest on with me, and we can talk and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I'm kind of following your footsteps there.
Oh, stop! Don't do that, man. Please. Oh, God.
Well, I'm staying far enough behind so I don't get like.
God have mercy on your soul. If I'm any kind of role model or inspiration to you for anything other than ridiculousness.
Well, I'm doing the opposite of whatever you do, but I'm still following.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I thought it would be the most ridiculous thing in the world for me to get out and try to out doctor or out coach or out teach or out educate. I can't even. Yeah.
No, I'm not trying that. Let the professionals do that part.
Hey, come get these jokes. Okay, that's what you do. Come get some of these jokes. Okay, we are here for fun, entertainment. Social, family. I look forward to it every Tuesday, seeing my people, having some laughs, having some fun. And I apologize in advance. You may learn something. As a matter of fact, okay, this is a part of the program where Folks, if you don't want to learn anything, I'm very sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry to do this to you. I know you come here not to learn anything, and I don't blame you because I can't teach. But I have a question for our girl here, Laura, because she knows everything about everything. I saw Bill Knott a video or a thing where he was talking about flying and some things there. And it reminded me of something that you talked about several months ago when he was having a problem with his lymphatic system or something like that. And I have no idea why this came into my mind. Clearly, I'm not getting enough fat in my diet or something. It's brain fog. I would attribute it to brain fog. But for some reason, I just became interested in understanding more about the lymphatic system. Certainly not something that we talk a lot about, but clearly gave him some problems. And so I thought to myself, I guess I'll do it to my audience and force them to get some information. And so I would like to talk a little bit, or we'll see what how the family feels about it. Maybe we'll talk about it for a long time, about the lymphatic system, and what it is, what it does, and how ketogenic diets, whether it's carnivore, whatever, how this may or may not affect them.
Yep. So basically, the lymphatic system is used in immune responses, for one. So, have you ever had a sore throat where you're like, you can feel those little nodules like here in your throat or back behind your ear? That is lymphatic ducts. And so you have all these vessels that kind of look like blood vessels, but they're not muscular. They're just kind of laying there. So what happens, the way you transport the fluid, especially from the lower body back up and dump it, is muscle contraction. So people who can go out and walk and do those kinds of things, anything that squeezes the muscles helps that fluid find its way back up and dump it into the kidneys, basically, and you get rid of whatever you're supposed to get rid of. What happens when you lose a lot of weight very quickly? That's where we see people get lymphatic, where it just gets clogged. You have all the oxalates dumping out at the same time, all the other toxins that were in those fat cells, and it overloads the lymphatic system, especially if you're extremely heavy, and especially in the legs, where Bill had, very big legs. And so it was very hard for that lymphatic fluid to come back where it needed to get. So then it kind of lays there, gets in those systems, and it makes every nerve in the area mad because it's going to swell, press on nerves. And then just like he had severe nerve pain to the point of where he thought he had injured his back, and had to get that MRI that he had to pay for out of pocket. Because of his size at the time, he couldn't fit in a regular MRI, even an open MRI. And so that is something that I have seen people have. I've taken care of people in my career that have lymphedema. Now, there's lipedema, which is the fattier tissue stuff. Lymphedema is where they have something blocking that flow, getting back up and dumping where it's supposed to dump out.
Okay, let's go
Yeah.
back. Let's go back just a little bit to the beginning there.
Yeah.
So we have this lymphatic system, and you have vessels throughout the body. I mean, there's more
Everywhere.
than just in your throat, right?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
everywhere, all the way down to your ankles.
And is this the primary way that the body gets rid of excess fluid, or is this something different?
Yes. So it's the way that the body transport fluid, broke down proteins, viruses, bacteria. It's kind of a little bit of an immune response. Kind of gets it up, dumps it, gets rid of it. So like people who have like swollen legs from like congestive heart failure, that's their lymph system not being strong enough to get that back up. And then they wear like the really tight hose that force it into that system for it to dump. So that is what the lymphatic system. But if you ever go out on the internet, like DuckDuckGo, don't use Google for anything, and you look up the lymph system. I mean, it looks just like blood vessels. They are everywhere throughout the body. And then you've got certain areas like under your armpit where you have like the ducts. So they're a little bit bigger, like usually about dime size is what they might be, a little smaller than that. But if you've ever had a soreness under there and you're like, what is that knot? That's usually a lymphatic gland that is, swollen because it's stuck. Like the stuff in there is too thick or it just doesn't have the ability to move. There are actually massage therapists that specialize in lymphatic drainage so that they can help that process too. So, but everybody has it everywhere.
So why? So the compression socks somehow, or the people wear, help the lymphatic system in some type of way? They kind of, or how does is that?
It just helps push what is in the lower legs. It kind of forces that, so it's going to push it out of the tissues because it'll spill into the tissues. If it can't move, osmosis is going to happen and it's going to get into those tissues. So it kind of forces that back into that system. It's not the perfect system, but most of the people are deconditioned where they can't get up and do like a shake plate or a rebounder, or even like I have people where I'm like, stand in front of your sink, hang on to the sink and just go up on your tiptoes back down to your heels several times a day. And just the average person doing that will help that lymphatic system, but so do like rebounders. I don't know if you've seen the rebounders. Wonderful thing for the lymphatic system.
Dennis Rodman's one of my favorite players. Yes, I love that. Well, so the shake plate and that stuff is good for the lymphatic system. It helps basically contract muscles, which basically helps the lymphatic system. So in the case of somebody like Tom, you're saying his system got clogged? You think? You don't know obviously for sure, but I mean
You mean Bill?
Oh, I said yeah, Bill. Yes,
that's okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't know Tom had that. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
But yes, I do think that's
we learn something every day.
We talked about it before the show.
But no, I do think that's exactly what it was, because he had a massive weight loss there. And by him using the shake plate, I think the very first time he used it, I think he had a 70 or 80% change of pain. The fluid started doing what it's supposed to do and leaving the body. So I just don't like to spend money, and shake plates are expensive. They do work, but if I can do a rebounder that has a handlebar so my ass doesn't fall off of there, because it could, then I'm going to do the cheaper thing. So I use a rebounder for that. And then I sprint on the treadmill, which helps anything that squeezes the calf muscles, because the rest of the lymphatic system, if it gets stuck, there's different massage techniques you can do, to help get those drained, especially if you have a sore throat or sore ears. And that's stuff they can go out and look up how to do. It's very simple.
That was kind of my next question. So, okay, I understand how that may work in the legs, but how does that work in terms of your upper area there? There's no muscles that you can contract.
Sure there is. Every time you turn your head, every time you chew, any of that muscle contraction is going to hit those areas. It's not going to be as strong as what it would be in your calf, but you're going to have a lot more fluid coming from those areas than you're going to have from up here. You're not going to have quite as much. But like I said, if you feel like they're getting clogged up, you can go out there and find the different massage techniques to get them to dump. Very, very easy to do. And you can tell when they dump, because some of these in the neck actually dump into the throat. So, you'll sit there and rub that and then you're like, oh boy, what was that? But it's just something pretty easy for people to go out and see.
Yeah. So see somebody. T. Lewis says, hi, Laura. There we go. Good evening, Aaron. It's nice to see you here with us, beloved. Let's see here. Says it better now be ducks under my arms. Sandy says, I dry brush towards the heart. Now,
too.
I don't know what that means, but can you
Yeah.
for those who are just maybe joining in, we are talking about, of all things, the lymphatic system. And you'll never believe this, but it is true. I came up with this idea. So it just something she said months ago stuck with me. Imagine that.
Hey, you do listen.
No, I really don't.
Who'd have thunk it?
But anyway, so we're just talking about the lymph. If you have a question about the lymphatic system, of course you can join in with that. But we'll see who else is in here. I think Rick is talking about it. Josephine says, "Hello there, beautiful people." Well, hello back to you, beautiful beloved. Glad to see you here. And anybody else here that I might have missed that comes in? This is Josephine. Let's see here. I think. Okay, Booby Goat, sir. Aaron says, before the carnivore diet, I used to get painful lumps in my armpits. Yeah, there you go. See, that's very interesting. I just thought it was, I got a hold of some bad antiperspirant or something there, but maybe it was.
It's usually the lymphatic.
Don't get your antiperspirant from the flea market, family. I'm just saying. You get lumps on
Get it from me. Get it from Russell Brands.
Carnivore Muscle says, "Hey, what's going on, brother? Good to see you." So there you go. So she says she totally forgot about it, and I would think that painful lumps on the arms are not the kind of thing I would remember that. I think I would remember that. Josephine says, "What's with the crown 1, 2 mean?" I don't know. That may be for somebody.
On your chats, every time you do a chat in there, you get a crown and you get points.
Oh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I guess it's something from YouTube or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
or StreamYard, either one.
I'm terrible on the technology and all that stuff. They got some new thing here where you can show comments on the stage. I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. Rick says too much education. Not enough fooling. I'm sorry, man. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Every once in a while, listen. I don't want to be dumb my whole life. Yeah, every once in a while I like to learn something. Let's see here. If I miss anybody. Oh, he says the crowns are rankings of commenters on the channel. It's a new thing. Huh. Who ranks them?
Know that either.
I'm supposed to be ranking people. I don't want anybody else ranking. I don't want some vegan, some vegetarian ranking my commenters. Because the YouTube person is probably some vegan or vegetarian. Their brains all fogged up. Let's see here. I'm looking see if I missed anybody. Anyway, so we'll do a couple more questions. If we have somebody that has like a heart failure, congestive heart failure or something like that, I don't exactly understand how that works, because if the lymphatic system depends on muscle movement and things like that, turning your neck and chewing and flexing your calves, why does the heart have something to do with that?
So there's two different types of edema. There's more than that, but congestive heart failure, if you think about your heart, it's a two-way pump. The right side of the heart brings blood up from the lower body, puts it into the top of the heart, down to the ventricle, out to the lungs, picks up oxygen, comes back in the left side of the heart. That second part of your blood pressure pushes that oxygenated blood out to the body. So depending, like if you have like left-sided heart failure or right-sided heart failure, there's two different kinds, or you can have both, which may mean like your ventricle on one side is dilated. It's enlarged. It's kind of stretched out. So like a rubber band, it's kind of gotten floppy. It won't have enough push to get the blood out. So that causes a backup of that system, which then in turn is related to the lungs, can back up fluid to the lungs. If it usually left-sided heart failure is what they call wet. Left is wet, right-sided heart failure is usually dry sounding here. but the fluid shows up in the legs. So you have to kind of know what is the cause. I would say most people, it's going to be lymph issues unless you know you have congestive heart failure. And you're going to know because you're going to have shortness of breath. You're going to have, the inability to walk, 20 feet without getting winded. You won't be able to go up like a flight of stairs without, stopping halfway, stuff like that. And most of the time, hopefully a physician has caught it and you've had some testing to know that you have that. And that's even fixable to a degree. I would say most people can fix that. And what I find, and this is just my personal opinion of the patients I've taken care of, probably over 80% of my congestive heart failure patients is a lack of real salt in their life because they're all told, oh, give up salt. Salt causes you to swell. Well, but our bodies are like little batteries. You have to have the electrolytes in there for it to function. I always tell people your heart's a pump, but it's also a distributor cap and it needs that it needs those electrolytes to be able to function properly. And so I find most of the time I have to work with the patient's doctor if I'm actively being in their home, being their nurse, not doing it online necessarily. But I'm always like, hey, can we try them on some Redmond's mineralized salt? This is what I know about it. And every doctor I've done that with, they're like, yeah, we'll give it 2 weeks. And then as their swelling goes away, their congestive heart failure goes away. I had one guy who no longer had AFib because his heart was beating correctly because the contraction could happen. So one of those physicians now, if he has patients like that, he doesn't send them to us necessarily for home health, but he gives them my phone number to call me for me to just kind of talk to him over the phone and see what we can do to get him on the right path because he's bound by where he works and can't do anything to really help the person without it being a medication. So that's what we do.
Gotcha. All right. Cranky says, okay, Russ, what do we win with the points on your channel? You get the opportunity to come back next Tuesday at 8:30. That's what you win. You get to come on the channel. Tom won last week. That's why he's on here today. There you go.
There he is.
I got the golden ticket.
That's right.
Oh, there you go. Rick says, my heart stopped a long time ago. Beef tallow. Yes. Okay. This is inquiring minds want to know, what can beef tallow make it through the lymphatic system?
I don't think the beef tallow gets into the lymphatic system, unfortunately.
That's what clogs it up. There you go. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Then says, Laura, are you familiar with dry brushing? Laura is familiar with everything. Yes, go ahead, Laura.
I am. Yeah, so dry brushing, they're really crazy looking little wands, and they've got little hard, it looks like bristles almost, but they're actually like the one that I tried about killed me because I'm wimpy. It was like real hard plastic, and it had all these little spindles coming off of it. And you actually take that and you rub that on your skin, and you bring it up like you're trying to help force the fluid up, or like say if you're doing it here, you would bring it this way so that you can get it to come down and dump in here. If it's the legs, you would start low and bring it up so that it helps with that. The only thing is I know I'm very how do I say it? I'm not the most feminine, wimpy little thing, but I bruised everywhere I did that. I had like these massive bruises, and I was like, forget that.
All right, so
I never bruised myself.
Yeah, so like
I did.
Wow. If your legs, like my legs will swell, like I sit down all day, and so like by the end of the day, after a long day, it goes down like at night, but then like by the end of the day,
it will
down all day.
Because when you go to bed and you lay flat, when you lay like this, the fluid, kind of will come up here. Like say this is your head and your heart's here. In the aortic arch, you have these things called baroreceptors. and they kind of tell the kidneys that let's kick this fluid out of here. So that's why a lot of people who have congestive heart failure, you'll see that they have their beds like this, because it makes it too hard for them, or they end up getting up to go to the bathroom 7 or 8 times a night. So that's pretty common. I would say for somebody that works like you do, I know people who have shake plates and they put them underneath their desk with their feet on them while they're doing that, working, and just let that kind of do its thing.
I've heard about people on airplanes having problems like that too.
Like and that could be blood clots. Like on the planes, you got to be very careful to make sure it's not blood clots. This is what I would do. If I knew I was going to go on a long plane ride and I have trouble with my legs swelling like that, I would make sure that I had cayenne pepper capsules, and I would take one before I left, and I would probably take another one when we landed. And that's because that helps open up the vessels.
I got hot sauce with me all the time anyway.
There you go.
I'm just kidding. I don't have hot sauce with me. That was just
yes, you do. You have freezing hot sauce with you all the time.
Hey, don't believe all the stereotypes, okay? I don't run around with hot sauce. Go ahead, Tom. You were saying something. I think you were trying to get in there.
I'm not sure. I guess I was saying I have a shake plate too. Maybe that's what I was talking about.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. A little brain fog there.
My desk isn't really big enough to put the shake plate underneath it, though. So,
yeah.
Else. You know, like I have a child. I kind of have a child's desk that I'm using right now. So.
There you go. Tara H says, "Well, Laura, now I am glad I caught this. Didn't know that lymphatic issues cause the armpit lump. Someone was asking about it yesterday. I thought it must be their deodorant also. See, I get no respect. I brought this topic up. It's my show. And she's like, Laura, I'm glad I caught this. And thank me. I'm the one that gets the thanks. Don't thank her for nothing." No, I'm just kidding. You know that. I don't care. I'm just love it. I'm glad you caught this too. You know, we're not known for a lot of learning and things, but we try our best to, give a little bit of information there. Once in a while. So there you go. There you have it. And I'm glad you caught it too. Let's see here. Arlene is here. It says, "Hi, Laura. I haven't caught you live in a long time." She gave us a woohoo, family. She said, "Woo!"
All right.
Well, I'm glad you're here too, beloved. I sure do appreciate you. I know everybody appreciates Arlene. She is one fantastic person. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay. Well, I think folks have, have had enough of the lymphatic system. Maybe we'll talk about it another time. Look who Sleepy's there. Sleepy Bruce is in the building, everybody. Everybody say hi to Sleepy Bruce. He's yawning right now. And Tara says, "Sorry, Russ, I thought this was a cooking show." No, beloved, this is the Keto Cookout. It's a virtual cookout. We just hang out here on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, 8:30, just the family getting together, having fun, talking. We just love, laugh, and learn here. That's what we do. It's like a big social club. And, we occasionally have a question, especially when Laura. See, now when Rick is on, we have a different kind of learning. We learn about wildlife and things like that.
Ducks and iguanas, yep. And
as a matter of fact, somebody emailed a complaint. Somebody emailed a complaint to me, or I will not mention their name, but they said, other than talking about killing ducks, I really like the show. So I'm like, I don't really know what to say about that, because it's kind of become a part of it's a class.
So different than me killing a deer and eating the deer, or catching a fish and eating the fish. I mean, that's what he eats.
Yeah, I guess, but we don't really talk about it that much. Although I do have a question about that too. I got all kind of questions, family. See, I don't want to be dumb my whole life. I want to, at some point, I want to, know some things. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. So, obviously we know what the first question will be next week. I'm just kidding.
So you can always ask.
Sorry if you don't like the duck topic, ma'am, but I hope that you still tune in, and we will work to maybe we'll come up with a come up with a code word for it or something. We'll talk about, I don't know how to think about it.
Correct.
But Rick says you have to kill the duck chicken right before you can eat it. Well, that is one way to do it. That's one way to do it. Okay, here's a question that I have for my beloved sister. And again, this may sound ridiculous or silly, but then again, maybe not coming from me. Do deer have like the same parts is there a deer ribeye? Is there a deer picanha? Is there a deer strip? I'm just wondering how that works.
So basically, it has just about the same as a cow, not everything, but it's just in a smaller version. So I do cut up steaks that would be kind of what you would think ribeye. The only thing is with deer is they tend to be very lean, so you won't have the fat marbling through there. They do get some fat, but it's usually on the outside of their muscles. So like if you're going to have a really bad winter, like when you kill your deer, 1st of November or second week in November, and you field dress it, you take it home, you hang it up, and then you take the hide off and you can see the fat pack that's going to be on them. But that generally is on the outside. It's not so much down in between into the muscle. So it is all there. It's just in a smaller, much smaller version. So that's why you have to shoot more of them to make
about that. I never, whenever you have friends that do deer, you always end up with summer sausage and jerky and these different things. I'm like, are they just giving us that because they're keeping the ribeye for themselves and
they're
deer
keeping the good stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, here, get some of this
I
jerky.
Get roast.
I'm gonna be knocking back the deer ribeye and the deer slab of ribs here. You get some of this jerky, dude.
Probably the back straps that go the whole length of the spine, inner and outer loins. Those are probably some of the best. And then I can cut out about 4, if you don't shoot up a shoulder, 4 really good roasts out of them. But most of those deer, once you field dress them, 130 to maybe if you get a massive deer, it might be 200 pounds. So it's a lot smaller than, a cow that's,
Yeah, I didn't think it would be this big, but I just didn't know if, this is the ribeye, this is the, sirloin, or this is the, hey, listen. Well, these are the things that come to my mind. What can I say? I got problems. Bruce said, I'd forgotten it's Tuesday. See, that's what happens, brother, when you smoke that end of the month weed. You got to get, you got to get weed at the first of the month. That janky weed at the end of the month, but nothing but seeds and stems in there. Just kidding, family. Bruce does not smoke weed anymore. And Sandy says, love being here, Russ. Well, I'm glad you're here, too. I think Arlene checked out, buddy. She was in and out like a robbery, buddy. She was just like, hey, caught alive, and I gotta go. So, we love you too, Arlene. Good night, beloved. God bless you. And let's see here. I think I played that one already. Yes. Hey, listen, I got questions. So sometimes I have a question. So Tara has a question. She said, well, I have a question. Has he eaten geese? Is it the same as duck? Let me say I can answer that for you. That would be, can I get a hell yeah? Yeah, he is. Not only that, he has a kind of duck, a kind of geese, not a Canadian goose. Was it an Egyptian goose he was talking about? I don't know how he knew it was from Egypt. I mean, did it build a pyramid, brother? How did you? I don't know.
It walked like an
real, and it had the black eyeliner all around its eyes.
Let me tell you something. We had the segment that we called "Yep, We'll Eat It" many times with with my man Rick, and yes, if it had parents, there's a chance that he's eaten it. I know he hasn't eaten a possum. Or a raccoon. I do know that. We've discussed that.
Right.
I have done those.
Yes. He says, dear are leaner. Now, I've noticed that too. I had a friend that used to go to Canada and hunt moose and elk. and
very lean.
Yes, and they would give us some ground beef, ground elk and ground, very very lean. I mean, it threw off like nothing. It was good, it was beef like, but very very.
That's why when I grind up my deer burger, I always, and I have done this since probably the 80s, always ground up ribeye fat or beef fat and mixed into it. Some people, like when they make sausage, they'll add a lot of pork and different things to it, for flavor, for fat, stuff like that.
Arlene said she had to go. She had to go to bed, and we started talking about killing stuff, and she came back to life. She said,
She's
"We
like,
killed lamb, also chicken and cow, deer too." Yeah, she had. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I can't go to bed now. They talking about killing stuff."
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Yeah, so I love that. It says, Sandy says she loves backstrap on the deer, and I noticed lamb here not so fatty. Sad. I don't know where here is or what part of the lamb. If you're getting the leg, is kind of fatty. Some of the chops and shoulder, I don't think are very fatty.
Yeah, they're not.
Rick says wild animals do not have myosteosis. Yeah, something. Yeah, they have subcutaneous fat. Ducks have to be fed duck food for a month to get fatty.
Yep.
Myosteosis or something. So I don't know. Rick is another smart guy there. I like to have smart people around. It makes people think I'm smart too. It's northern New Mexico.
New Mexico. Yep.
We had a lot of jerky when we got a deer. Yeah, I've had a lot of jerk. So
yeah.
I think I missed probably the part of it. Well, that's it that you know of, right? Yeah, that's right. I know how it gets, brother. See, I told you that. Yes, Egyptian goose. There you go. He knew it was an Egyptian because it was wrapped in mummy clothing and it escaped from a. There we go. So yes, now Cranky says the Egyptian goose is actually a duck.
A duck.
Oh. So we have a duck in goose clothing family. Beware. Beware. We might have to have a clash of the waterfowl there between Cranky and Rick. I don't know who I put my money on there. These guys are very knowledgeable about such things. Sandy says I ate a mushroom gummy. See now, what have I started?
I know, and I'm like, boy, we just went.
I'm gonna talk about Bruce smoking weed now. She's like, I got a gummy. Next thing somebody's gonna be like, right now.
Oh, this turned into a 70s thing.
Yeah, like, hey man, listen, this has turned into something else. It's a whole other type of cookout, smoke out. Let's see here. Arlene says, good question, Russ. Never thought of that either. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, Rick said, ooh, possum. Now, I cannot believe that something that had parents, you would give the gas face. Now, okay, here you go, Rick. Pizza or possum? Okay.
I would eat the pizza toppings. If I had to choose between the two, I would eat pizza toppings because the possums are gross. Greasy.
I'm just teasing. Bruce has had rattlesnake. Rick loves rattlesnake. Charles says, Rick says, deep fry your rattler in tallow. I'm guessing it's something like. Says gator seemed dry. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, alligator. Yeah.
Rick says Russ is smart. Okay, yeah. Next to you, I'm a genius. Yes. If you and I are on the show together, I am the smart one. Yes, you're exactly right. Well, the Egyptian goose, it turns out, was a duck. Maybe there. We're gonna have to go to the judges on that one. We're gonna have to get that. Hey, look who's here, everybody! Our guy is here. Papa Carnivore is here, man. We can get the party started. That's all right, brother. You're right on time, brother. Don't you worry about it, man. You're right on time.
He missed the fun stuff.
Pacemaker pizza over possum any day. Hey, that's what we're gonna make when I come down there, man. We're gonna make pacemaker pizza. I think we'll have some heart attack stuff, but yes, I people who don't, I don't know if anybody knows who Channing Crowder is, but he's a kind of he used to play football for the Miami Dolphins, and he's an outdoorsman. He says it's disgusting. Possum is disgusting, according to him, and I do believe him. If you know anything about him,
he's horrible.
He's kind of a keep it real kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Chances being pom pom, of course. That's awesome. I love that.
That's the best.
Got to the end of the comments there. Yes. Well, can't believe it. We're moving along here with the time, but yeah. So we have learned some things today. Rick, have you ever ate or anyone ate an armadillo? See, listen, all this talk about killing stuff, Arlene has got a second win, buddy.
I know. She's back.
Any armadillo. Now, if I would if somebody was going to eat armadillo, it'd be our man Bruce down there in Texas.
That would make me sure.
I don't even know if we have armadillos here. We might. We have everything else. Rick says he has not eaten armadillos. They are supposed to carry leprosy. Yeah, well, just have them put it down before you eat them. That's so. Hey, drop that leprosy.
I think they've had some get up as far as Missouri and the tip of southern Illinois. Some of those, so they are migrating other places.
Yep. So I guess we are. Yes, I guess we are. This is kind of we've worked our way into a segment of "Yep, we'll eat it."
Killing fields.
This is if anybody eats a squirrel. I can't imagine a squirrel has a lot of meat. It's like
it doesn't.
And I'm like, man, you just say all you can get is like a nugget out of a squirrel. It's like I can find six squirrels, I can make 6 nuggets, 6 squirrel nuggets.
If you think about it, when you do it, like, I know this is going to sound really horrible. If any vegans are watching this, they'll probably faint. But like if you break their back off, if you break the back portion off of like where their pelvis is, it's kind of like frog legs. They kind of have that kind of meat on them, very similar to that same style. And then you can eat the other two. But yeah, fried squirrel can be very good as long as you get squirrels that are eating more like in the fall. If you do it too early in the spring, most of the husks that they're eating off of like walnuts and things like that are green, and they'll taste just like that smells. So, which is very greenish grass, disgusting. But yeah, they can be very good.
It tastes like a deep fried walnut. That's basically what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
There you go. Bruce has never eaten an armadillo. Too hard to keep watch for cars. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Aaron says armadillos hopped on a train for Texas, got dropped off in Tennessee. Well, I saw Rick has never had raccoon, although he does have a blood debt that is owed to the raccoon population there that he is desperately wanting to repay. Some raccoons massacred his ducks, and they got to pay. He has not seen or heard from them. Otherwise, they would have paid for what they did to his beloved ducks. But
throw them in the ditch when you're done. Don't eat them. They are.
I watched. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I watched on YouTube probably 6 or 8 months, maybe a year ago. Some country folks trap a raccoon, string it up, dress it, and skin it, and soak it in milk overnight, and then woke up, put it in a pot with a bunch of vegetables and stuff, and boiled it up and made a raccoon stew. And they were getting it in. I mean, they were just forks clinking and lips smacking, buddy. They could not. They were having a time of their life. It looked like chicken. When they boiled it up, it looked almost chicken-like. But
I'd have to be really, really, really hungry. Really, really hungry.
I guess the moral of the story is anything you got to soak in milk before you can eat it is probably not that good.
Yeah.
I said, I heard armadillo were dangerous to even touch. Not if they're dead. I would say they're probably not very dangerous at all.
Yeah, they probably don't.
They are, because they carry leprosy. So you still,
Oh,
they do carry leprosy. Yeah. So you don't, like, I would never touch them without having like welding gloves, and then they would go in the trash. Yeah, they do carry that.
Rick says, I wanted to eat raccoons. I did not want to eat raccoons, seeing what they eat the same thing your ducks eat. What do you mean you don't? What do you mean you
Raccoons will eat anything. They
Yeah.
are, so
That's
will a
what I'm
possum. They will find a dead carcass and climb in it through its back door and eat their way through. I mean, they are disgusting.
I heard Rick say duck will eat about anything. Arlene says, my grandmother gave me an armadillo purse. There you go.
Yep.
Probably from Mexico. He says, I've eaten rabbits. You know, I saw rabbits in a store. There's a store, kind of an ethnic market, and I walked by and I saw a rabbit, like a skinned rabbit. And I was a little taken aback by that. Not the type of thing you do every day. You know, like, is that a rabbit? A skinned rabbit?
Rabbit's good too.
It was shrink wrapped and it's just looking right at me.
As nice as my husband looks, Russ, and you've met him,
very handsome.
He put quite a few rabbits and squirrels in the freezer this year.
Oh, so
yeah,
that seems like a lot of work. The squirrel, you know, like I said, when you just, you know, it's like, you know,
there's easy ways to do it on both of them. It's just pretty gruesome. Like I'll have somebody and they'll be like, well, how do you do it? And I tell them, and then they just are like, I'm like, well, you asked. Because there is a very easy way to do it, but most people would think that it was pretty bad.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, the crawfish thing. It's like, you know, in Louisiana. So you got this, man, you got to work for 10 minutes to get like a micron's worth of meat out of that little thing. And they're snapping and cracking and sucking and all.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. I'd rather just have a chicken leg or something. So it just seems like a lot of, you know, it's like, you know, you do all that killing and skinning to get like just a squirrel giblet, you know. It's like, you gotta have 100 of them to, you know, to have a meal. It's like, man, if I can get 20, 30 more of these squirrels, baby, we're gonna have a good dinner.
I think the reason like my husband hunts those mostly is because he has a giant garden out back and they annihilate it. So he has to protect his vegetables.
Yes, I was gonna say there's gotta be a reason that he's a very practical man. My man Paul, so there's gotta be a reason. He's not out there hunting squirrel just for the heck of it for dinner. He's gotta have a purpose behind it to that's funny. Jenny says squirrel and rabbit taste like chicken. Yeah, it looks, I mean, rabbit looks like chicken, like it's a white, you know, kind of a lean meat like that. So
that's good. It's very good.
Bruce says he hadn't seen any armadillos in years. You see them all the time at the farm. I don't know.
They're coming this direction.
Yeah. Wonder what's the natural enemy of an armadillo. What eats armadillo? Like the foxes and
I don't know that they have. I don't know that they have a. I don't know. I'm not sure that they have much of anything. Car, shotgun, bow and arrow. That would be the best.
Yeah, that's interesting. Most animals have a predator of some type. So I'm just wondering if it's something that keeps them down there. Look who's here, everybody. My man Dustin is here, brother. Good to see you, my man. Keto Simple is here. Check him out on this channel. Always something great going on over there. Good to see you, man. Bruce calls them trash pandas.
Yep.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right.
Well, you're awesome, doing good stuff. Well, compared to who, man? It's all relative, brother. But thank you so much for the super chat, brother. You know you're my guy. I appreciate you so much, man. Tell your wife I said, hey, we got to figure out how to do a live one of these days. Of course, he's been on the Cookout with us before, and he's welcome here anytime. He's family. He knows that. And he's got those early morning streams, man. You guys is killing me with the morning stuff. Get an afternoon stream, brother.
Just stay up a little longer, Russ.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's funny you should mention that. This is no joke. I'm dead. This is funny that you should mention that. I don't know why I get it from my dad a little bit. My dad doesn't sleep much, but I didn't go to bed till 4 a.m. and I almost stayed up to catch the live, the Killers live. I just was working and stuff, and I looked at the clock. It was 2. I wasn't tired. I looked at the clock. It was 3:30. I wasn't tired. I looked at the clock about 4. I started getting a little drowsy, and I'm like, if I just stay up a little bit longer, I could catch the first part of the live. But by 4:30, I took it on to the barn. But that is so funny you should say that, because yes, that's the bet. That would be a better chance of me catching it by staying up. This is the first time I'm seeing the XP stuff. I don't know if somebody. I don't know what that was meant for me here.
I think is that the XP. Is he talking about like those crowns like that? Is that what
I don't even know what that is, family. I'm not good with this technology and stuff. It's all I can do to just keep up with the chats and the things like that. I think
Cats will do that.
Or maybe it's a rabbit. Well,
they will do that.
There you go. So I figured something. There had to have been something that eats. Everything eats something. So yeah, gators eat armadillos. There you go.
Wow. I don't have any of those in Illinois. What am I going to do?
I said my cat Zomax was a great tiger stripe killer cat. Yeah, our dog used to do stuff like that. He'd find all kind of stuff and bring it up and just drop it up near the front porch, like, "Hey guys, look what I found."
Yeah, proud of themselves.
Yeah. It says 10 of us in the chat are tied for 4th place with XP 75.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I'm actually first.
Yeah.
Aaron's getting sleepy, she said.
At least I was.
All right. Well,
that's a pretty good amount of sleep, right?
Yeah, I can't see it. Personally, I can't see it from my angle here. I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
Hey,
you guys, put some things in the chat.
Guys like it? I love it. Some kind of leaderboard. Well,
yeah, you never know.
Well, my friends, the time has come. I think we have met our contractual obligations to the family. I can't believe that Bruce stayed awake through the whole show there, although he did come in a little bit late. That's an amazing thing. We're gonna give Bruce. We're gonna shout out to Bruce. Actually, I take that back. Maybe there's something wrong with Bruce. Maybe Bruce has got a little touch of insomnia there. I don't. Maybe I should be. Maybe we shouldn't be cheering for Bruce. Maybe we should be saying a prayer for Bruce, because he is up an awful long time there, man. So I don't know. Look who's here, everybody! Just
Robin.
Robin. Near the end. Good to see you, beloved. You are there. Sandy says, "Sing us a song, please. Give me a song." Okay, we'll sing our way out of there. We'll sing our way out. We will take a request.
I don't know about Thomas, but there's no we singing. I can't sing.
I
can sing out of tune, but no.
Yep, I will sing us out of here. Yeah. No problem there. I'm a man of the people, and you give me a request there.
You can say, "We are family."
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
And brother.
Family. Yeah, that's all I know of that. Any song, Russ. I can do what? Make up a song, or maybe a keto song. I'm back on keto again. Let's see. I can't remember.
Bar song. Rick. Is that It's Raining Men or what? What song is he talking about?
Song. When will I see you again? I'm doing keto again. Not eating ice cream again. Not in the drive-thru of Dunkin' Donuts. Krispy Kreme, it sure ain't my friend. I hear what you're saying, but I swear my fasting insulin is lower than it's ever been, 'cause I'm doing keto. Ooh, yeah, I'm doing keto again. Yes, and not eating ice cream again. Oh baby, I'm doing keto again. Yes, and I'm off the sweets once again. Yeah, yeah. I'm doing keto again. I wrote that song. I can't remember the word. I butchered it, but it was like a silly thing. I had the music for it where it's like I was apologizing. It's like, I'm so sorry. I left you. I was, eating all kind of stuff, but I'm back on keto and I'll never leave you again. And I wrote that. So anyway, I hope you like that one, Sandy. She just sing it, baby.
Sing it, baby, sing.
Yeah, I should have just sang the Babyface song. Is what I should have done. Instead of butchering my keto song.
No, it was good.
Yeah, the how does the original Babyface is back when he was big time. How does it start out? When will I see you again? When will my heart beat again? When do the tears stop from running over? When does you get over it begin? I hear what you're saying, but I swear that it's not making sense. So when can I see you? Yeah, when can I see you again? Yes, and when can I breathe once again? Oh, baby, when can I see you again? Yes, and when can I breathe once again? Yeah. Oh, when can I see you again? There you go. You're welcome, beloved. I love your singing, and I do what I can. I've been known to carry a tune. When I was young and in my prime, I used to do it all the time. And with that, we will see you next week on the Keto Cookout. Until then, keep your carbs low, your proteins, fats high. We will see you on the next one.